live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's three quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. The Daily Mail reporting Harry and Meghan will have to be deposed. As part of a lawsuit, Meghan's half-sister Samantha Markle is suing the couple. She claims they lied about her in an interview with Oprah.
86-year-old Don Chrisman from Maine is getting ready to head to Arizona this weekend. He'll be attending his 57th straight Super Bowl. He's been to every single NFL championship game since 1967. Go him.
Yeah, what kind of job
I'm going
did
to root
he
for
have?
him. Can I root for him?
Yeah, I'd
Amazing.
rather root for him than the teams. Scientists have figured out the most stressful time of the day down to the minute. They conclude that 7:23 in the morning is when the adults are the most stressed. What about us? 7:23?
It would have to be like 2:23.
I'll say
3:23.
witching hour with the children.
Yeah. Oh, don't go there with
That's
me.
it.
Because the soul of this nation is strong. Because the backbone of this nation is strong. Because the people of this nation are strong. The State of the Union is strong.
President Joe Biden addressing a joint session of Congress last night in his second State of the Union address. The president saying the union is strong as he outlined his administration's achievements and plans for the year ahead. That includes finding common ground in a divided Congress.
He boasted about his bipartisan infrastructure law and the projects underway across the country, like the Brent Spence Bridge in Cincinnati. The president says federal infrastructure projects will have to use materials made in America. President Biden's also looking towards the future of the automotive industry, promising to install more than 500,000 electric charging stations across the country, even highlighting projects right here in Ohio.
Outside of Columbus, Ohio, Intel is building semiconductor factories on 1,000 acres, literally a field of dreams.
President Biden saying he is looking forward to working with Republicans. We spoke with Dr. Mark Clausen at Cedarville University. He says that could be easier said than done.
Then when he got into issues that were more sensitive to the Republicans, then at that point, of course, a few of the Republicans, at least the more vocal ones, are not willing to just sit by and listen to that. They felt that they had to respond.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders slamming President Biden and the Democrats in the official Republican response.
His administration has been completely hijacked by the radical left. The dividing line in America is no longer between right or left. The choice is between normal or crazy.
Sanders says Biden has reversed all of former President Trump's accomplishments, adding America is in a left-wing culture war with big government colluding with big tech. Sanders also called Biden weak on border security in China. She says Republicans will hold Biden accountable. If you missed any of the president's State of the Union or the Republican response, you can watch it on our website or app right now. Just scan the QR code on your screen. You can also download it for free in your device's app store.
And this morning, a matter of hours, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims will deliver his State of the City address.
Dayton 24/7's Alex King is live outside the Dayton Metro Library this morning. She spoke with Mims about the first year as mayor. Alex.
Yeah, Mayor Mims tells me that the city is seeing progress, saying the median income in Dayton is up nearly $3,000. He says the city is moving in the right direction. The mayor says Dayton is seeing more jobs, more people moving to the city, and more investments downtown, pointing to the opening of the Dayton Arcade and the Levitt Center. A new hotel is going to be opening up in Dayton soon. 50% of the city's budget comes from downtown income tax, and 75% of the budget is spent on neighborhoods.
So what has happened in our neighborhoods is we find ourselves with the first new food court restaurant in West Dayton with the Social Tap on Williams and 3rd Street. We find a brand new barbershop, luxury barbershop right across the street from that just popped up here about 3 months ago. We have new economy linen spaces in West Dayton, right off of Germantown. We have a new grocery store that's going up down the street from that, right there again on Germantown Pike.
He says the growth will continue in 2023 between a new library in West Dayton and the work going on at the old Wright Brothers factory sites. The mayor also praising the Omega CDC. It's one of the 4 recipients of a U.S. Department of Education grant with $28 million providing opportunities for young kids. Now, we will be live out here all morning along with the latest information, and we'll also be live during the Mayor Mims' State of the City address. Stay with us because we're going to have more on the progress we're seeing here in the city and more from Mayor Mims coming up next. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
And a live look this morning over the Gem City, where Dayton police are rolling out a new feature they say will help fight crime. The department took to Twitter announcing new automated license plate readers. The ALPR equipment is only used for official law enforcement purposes. The city says they worked with people from the community to find the best spots to install them. Those readers scan passing license plates and compare them to national and local crime databases. In total, there are now 37 throughout the city. You can find the full list of locations on our website at Dayton247now.com, and you can find this story on our home page. And we want to give you a live look over the city of Troy this morning, where across the Miami Valley we could see some strong winds.
With your morning forecast and what to expect tonight, let's check in now with meteorologist Nick Maruziak. Nick.
So tonight we do expect rain and the winds to pick up. It's really tomorrow that has our greatest concern during the daytime. 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts are possible with the potential for some power outages across the area. Now that's a lot of speculation based on 50 to 60 because also you need trees to be knocked down. You need power lines. Now, with 50 and 60, that starts to become possible. It is worth pointing out that if you are traveling, especially a higher profile vehicle, you will certainly feel the winds. Now, high wind watch has been issued for the northern 2/3 of our area, so the city of Dayton up towards Sydney. This is the area where it's more likely for us to get those high-end wind gusts. Further south, Hamilton area, Wilmington area, those are going to be more likely for us to see, let's say, 40 to 50 mile per hour gusts. Still very windy, but maybe not the top-end gusts. And just to give you an idea, this is a large swath of the Great Lakes region that is expecting some strong winds. Around the Fort Wayne area, we will likely see 60 mile per hour wind gusts as well. For today, no major issues. It will be just a generally cloudy start to your morning, but otherwise we are looking at temperatures 30s and 40s giving way to 50s yet again. As for this morning, a little bit of fog outside. It's more of a haze than anything, but it's worth watching over the morning just to see if it can thicken up. I don't think it'll become a true thick fog, but again, right for now, everything on the interstate is moving freely.
About 1 in 5 middle schoolers in Ohio say they've thought of suicide. That's according to Dayton Children's Hospital. Over the last year and a half, they've reported an alarming increase in kids experiencing mental health crises. Our Gwyneth Falloon spoke with experts about what could be causing the rise.
Kelly Blankenship, a behavioral health specialist here at Dayton Children's, tells me we are finally starting to see the effects of COVID and isolation. She says social media bullying drastically increased when kids were stuck at home, which is likely a huge reason we are seeing a rise in kids feeling anxious, depressed, or even suicidal. One of the things she recommends parents do is talk with your child about social media, the good, the bad, and everything in between. However, the biggest and most important prevention is just talking.
Ask your kids how they're feeling. Ask your kids how your day was and how their day is, and try not to ask closed-ended questions. So try not to ask, did you have a good day? Because a lot of kids are going to say yes, and then they're done. Then, it's, well, tell me what was good about your day. Asking open-ended questions so that they can't just say yes or no and stop speaking.
Kelly says having open-ended, comfortable conversation will increase the likelihood a child will come to their parents if they're thinking of suicide or just struggling in general. If you're in need of help, you can now call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline by dialing 988. For more on this story, head to our website. That's Dayton247now.com. Reporting in Dayton, I'm Gwyneth Falloon.
And join us tomorrow, Thursday, February 9th, for the 3rd annual Epic Pet Give-a-thon. Dayton 24/7 Now, once again, teaming up with the Humane Society of Greater Dayton to raise much-needed funds for animals in their care. The event runs all day Thursday right here on Dayton 24/7 Now, but you don't have to wait to give. You can donate right now by scanning the QR code or on your screen or by texting EPIC23 to 76278. That is EPIC 23 to 76278.
Our time right now is 5:10. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather, of course, on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
After a suspected Chinese spy balloon is seen floating across the U.S., what former intelligence officers are telling me about China's history of spying on the U.S.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. We're waking up to some fog. Now, while it's not bad in Dayton, we are starting to see some of the surrounding areas become a little bit thicker outside. So this is something worth watching this morning, and this may end up being a little bit more of a hazard for us getting around town. Now, that being said, temperatures are in the mid to upper 20s. Could see a couple of them stay in the low 30s. We're just about at the point where we're pretty well saturated. Winds are calm pretty much across the board. We aren't looking at any type of a wind chill, but what we will be looking at is a pretty hefty little system coming in. Now, this will march its way in. It'll be by and large a rain event, but by and large an overnight rain event. So here we are, 8 p.m. Rain starts to overspread the area. Could be a couple of periods of intense rainfall overnight. Now, that being said, tomorrow, the big storyline is going to be the winds. After the rain moves out during the mid-morning, we will be looking at some strong gusty winds afternoon, evening time period. How strong? It could end up being 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. Now, while that's not a given to say we're going to see damage, that's where it starts to become more possible, especially any trees that have been damaged recently or any trees that may not be as well rooted. So that's why we've issued a code red. Now, again, that's 58 mile per hour gusts are possible. That's why we're under a high wind watch. Beyond that, cooler for the first part of the weekend, and temperatures return to the 50s early next week. Starting to pick up the fog, especially across the northern part of our area right now on our traffic cams. Haven't seen any major issues on 75, but Wesleyan and Maryland Ave, as well as the right lane Miamisburg Centerville Road, those are going to be your problem spots right as of now.
Developing now, U.S.-China relations are escalating after the suspected Chinese spy balloon in the U.S.
Many wonder how it may be connected to other recent events involving China. Dayton 24/7 Now's national correspondent Didi Gatton has the latest.
Former U.S. intelligence experts tell me recent events show more than evidence of spying. They point to intelligence gathering that's been going on for years.
This is all about China poking at us. This is all about China testing the American resolve.
U.S.-China relations have been tense for years, but after a suspected Chinese spy balloon is seen floating across the U.S., on top of concerns about TikTok and more Chinese ownership of U.S. farmland, fears about China as a national security threat have intensified.
I grew up during the Cold War and served in the FBI before and then after 9/11. And I believe what our international competitors are doing is they're trying to gauge our reactions, our response protocols.
Former FBI Executive Assistant Director Chris Pihota believes China is collecting information about the U.S. and will use that to their strategic advantage.
As one of our primary competitors and as some would say an adversary, they've been collecting information about the United States for many years. They've seen us as a competitor and an adversary for the time after the Soviet Union fell and they were the remaining world communist power.
Unlike the U.S., China has an inherent interest in doing internal intelligence, which involves keeping an eye on what the U.S. is doing. According to former CIA officer and cybersecurity expert David Chasteen.
It seems most likely that the self-destruct mechanism on this balloon failed.
While he doesn't believe the most recent balloon was intentional, he points to prior incidents of Chinese balloons flying over the U.S.
We know the Chinese are spying on the U.S. They have intelligence services whose job it is to spy on the U.S. And over time, they will get better at it. As they see us as more of a threat, they will get more aggressive to try and understand what we're doing.
While China's objective is, of course, unclear, at least on the nuclear front, Chasteen points out how intertwined our economies are and that an open nuclear war would be disastrous to China. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Didi Gatton.
Our time right now is 5.
You're welcome for the support, Nicholas.
That's what we're here for.
That is what we're here for.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's questionable.
Strong winds coming. Grab a kite. Going high in the
Go
sky.
fly a
just
kite,
ahead.
Nathan.
I've heard that enough. Grab some string and look back at some history.
What are you reading? You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning, and time for one of my favorite segments of the day. Of course, it is Pet of the Day. Now, this is Boo. Boo sent in by Lindsay, so thank you to her for sitting in. And just a reminder, and my digital director would absolutely kill me if I didn't say this, reminder, send in your photos. We'll even take a video if it's short enough of your pet of the day. You can send that on our website and also on our app. Now, meantime for today, right now we do have a little bit of fog outside. So probably, I would say up until 9 a.m., that would be a concern, especially as you move into the more rural areas where we are seeing a little bit of thicker fog. Once you get into, I would say, just about the mid to late morning hours, it should be okay. Today, mix of sun and clouds, but tilted way more towards clouds, and by the time we get to 6 p.m. we will see those clouds thicken up. It's a case where I don't think we'll see wet weather, but again, because of the fog this morning, you may want to just give yourself a little bit of extra time outside. It is looking a little bit foggy right now, especially northern part of our area, bottom right cam, 70 and 75. So that gives you an idea of just, I would say, some of the lighter fog, but there may be a couple spots that really truly do see some dense fog later on this morning.
Questions about Medicaid? 66% of voters say they think that Medicaid should only provide health insurance for low-income Americans and that those who end up earning more money should be removed from the program. This opinion, captured in a recent Scott Rasmussen national survey, comes in response to a federal mandate that keeps people on Medicaid during the COVID-19 public health emergency, regardless of changes in income or other circumstances. 25% of voters said they think anyone who is on Medicaid today should be allowed to remain in the program regardless of income. 30% of voters also said that they think extending Medicaid coverage to all Americans would help increase the overall health of the country.
Apple devices' crash and fall detection features are reportedly flooding 911 emergency service centers and dispatch centers across the U.S. The New York Post reports Apple is aware of the large number of fall calls and is working on technology to reduce them. As of September, Apple Watches and the iPhone 14s were equipped with technology that was meant to alert 911 dispatchers in case of a fall that was introduced, that technology, in 2018. Well, a healthy lifestyle may mean lower risk of long COVID. A new study says people who avoided long COVID never smoked, had moderate alcohol consumption, a high-quality diet, and 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, and at least 150 minutes per week of exercise. Well, CVS is nearing a deal to buy the primary care provider Oak Street Health. The deal would expand the health insurer and pharmacy chain's role in medical care. Of special interest to the buyers are clinics that manage and treat patients with chronic health conditions, such as diabetes, which care can be costly if not managed closely. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
I feel like I say this to you every single day. Go fly a kite. It's National Kite Flying Day. Kites actually date back to 470 BC in China.
What is that one?
I don't know. Those look like pants, don't it? That's America right there. Early models were made out of natural items like bamboo, silk, and vines. Now, of course, oh, look at the big one. It's much easier to go to the store and buy one. So celebrate in style. And tonight, or really, I guess tomorrow, maybe, Nick, a good time to fly one?
Yeah, I'm thinking 50-mile-per-hour gusts may be kind of really tough to control it.
Maybe just don't fly a big one so you don't fly away.
When was the last time you tried to fly?
Oh, God.
About 3 weeks ago. And
it's hard.
It did not
When was the last time you did?
Well, I bought one for Hudson, like a little Dollar Tree one, thinking like this could be fun. No, it was not fun. In fact, it was very difficult and a nightmare.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I love going to the beach when I used to go to Florida and watching the parent and a kid trying to get it up. And eventually the parent got it. And by then the kid was like in the ocean, just didn't care. The parent's just like, well, all right, guess we're flying.
Way too difficult. Go give it a shot. Go fly.
It's been a long time. You go fly a kite.
You go fly.
You go fly a kite.
On that note, our time right now, 5:26, still to come.
Mayor Mims preparing to deliver his State of the City address this morning, really in just a few hours. We're going to have live updates for you throughout the morning, and we'll head inside once he gets here.
And helping those forced from their homes, just ahead, an update on the train derailment in East Palestine. And Brianna Smith catches up with some of the people affected.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook is giving creators more control over their comment section. The company just announced new comment moderation tools. You can search comments by keywords or emojis, then take action in bulk, such as liking or hiding them. It's part of an effort to promote online safety. Google is taking a step it says will make internet surfing safer. The company will soon automatically blur explicit images that appear in searches. The setting will be in effect even if the safe search function is off. The feature will not affect explicit text or links. Finally, WhatsApp users can now use their own voice to leave a status update. Voice status lets users record an update up to 30 seconds long, and you can now use an emoji to react to updates from others. Now, if for some reason you record a pony as your voice status, just a warning, it might sound a little hoarse. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
That's me before Dawn Power Wash.
Soaking, scrubbing, that's life.
Was life.
Now Power Wash gives me the power of an overnight soak in minutes. I'm sorry, minutes? With 3 cleaning boosters not found in traditional dish soaps that help break down, loosen, and lift away food and grease.
So much faster.
Just spray suds on. No water needed till rinsing. Tougher mess? Let the suds sit a few minutes before wiping.
Even cleans the grill. Thank you.
It's more than soap. It's Power Wash.
One roll of a lifetime, one sore throat. But she had enough. She took Mucinex InstaSoothe sore throat lozenges. Show your sore throat who's boss. Mucinex InstaSoothe works in seconds, lasts for hours.
Think he's posting about all that ancient Roman coinage? No. He's making real-time money moves with Merrill. So no matter what the market's doing, he's ready. And that's how you collect coins.
Your money never stops working for you with Merrill.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
3 quick stories you are waking up to this morning. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is visiting the UK today. Now, this is the first time he's visited the country since Russia invaded Ukraine.
And now we know when the King and Queen Consort will be crowned. May 6th at Westminster Abbey.
Oh, you gonna tune in?
No, you know I won't.
I know you do. You hate the royals with every fiber of your being.
I just don't care.
And a man arrested for climbing the tallest building in downtown Phoenix. The SWAT team met him at the top after climbing 40 stories. How sad. I'd be like, oh man, can I just go back down?
He was live streaming it on Instagram and stuff.
Oh my gosh. Did he think he was going to make him Insta famous?
It was all about that clout.
It's annoying.
Now today's top
Now who else is
story.
annoying? No, I'm just kidding.
Looking live at the Gem City this morning. Tonight, we could see some strong winds.
Yeah, on a serious note, we want to send you right over to meteorologist Nick Maruziak, who's going to break down when we can actually start seeing those strong gusts.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be overnight that the winds continue to pick up. And it's really going to be, let's say, mid-morning through the mid-afternoon if you're going to choose a very narrow time frame for us to see the strongest gusts. So that's where we could see 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. It's conceivable anytime you get winds this strong that we start talking about maybe not widespread power outages, but one here or there. That because you'll see a downed tree, a power line, something similar. In addition, it's worth pointing out that it will be a much more dangerous travel for any higher profile vehicles. Think the type of winds that if you're getting caught in a gust that can blow you across. Now, let's go ahead and show you some of the strongest winds. So here we are about 9, 10, 11 in the morning. There'll be 50 mile per hour gusts pretty much across the board. The difference is we want to see those winds pick up to the 60 mile per hour range. That's where it becomes a lot more likely for us to see, again, those damaging wind gusts. Bellefonte, Urbana, probably better chances than our southern part of our area. It's not to say the southern part won't see any strong gusts. By the time we get towards the evening, those strongest of the strong wind gusts will move out. Tomorrow, Friday morning, we'll be looking at the potential for still a little bit of a breeze. Meanwhile, some fog this morning, so if you're putting kids on a bus, you do have to watch because we could be looking at, again, some fog across the area, and that may be enough that we start talking about some really reduced visibility. So here's what it looks like this morning. As of now, though, no major issues on the interstate.
In just a matter of hours, Mayor Jeffrey Mims will deliver his State of the City address after his first year serving the community.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live downtown with his plans for his second year. Alex.
Yeah, I spoke with Mayor Mims about what the city plans to do with the stimulus money it received. He tells me $22 million is going towards clearing down 1,100 vacant buildings. $800,000 will help fix up 100 homes and target areas throughout the city. Now, $1.8 million is going to Habitat for Humanity, and this will go towards helping people learn how to do basic maintenance in the house, rehabbing their homes, dealing with electrical work and plumbing. Now, the mayor tells me it's all about improving the quality of life for people living in Dayton.
One of the things I like to do is try to bring back some of the quality of life options that I had, that my kids had, and to treat every kid in this community as if they were mine, okay, and create those kind of opportunities for them. And if we have not gotten to your neighborhood, I'll just say this very clearly, just hold on, we're on the way. We're on the way to try to make good things happen as far as the city of Dayton is concerned.
Mayor Mims says he's expecting the city to grow even more this year between a new library in West Dayton and the work going on at the old Wright Brothers factory sites. That speech kicks off at 8:30 this morning. We will be live out here all morning long, and we will give you the latest information as Mayor Mims delivers his State of the City address coming up at 8:30. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
The Clark County Sheriff's Office expected to hold a press conference on the death of Deputy Matthew Yates. Now, Yates was killed in the line of duty back in July while responding to a call of gunshots near Springfield. Yesterday, a grand jury held a special session to review what happened. Now, the Sheriff's Office will discuss those findings. And the press conference begins at 10:30 this morning. Of course, we are expected to be there, and we'll update you both on air and online at Dayton247now.com.
So we've been focusing largely on the air quality within that 1 mile evacuation zone. We've been doing that throughout the day and throughout the night, and we're going to process that data and give our recommendation to the incident commander in the morning. We have been air monitoring throughout.
The people of East Palestine, Ohio, are hoping to hear good news from the Environmental Protection Agency. Norfolk Southern says the release of toxic chemicals from the derailed train cars was a success. Now people who were evacuated want to know when they can finally go back home. Brianna Smith caught up with the people affected.
I'm ready to go home. I want the air to be safe for all of us, obviously. but I'm just ready to go home.
Michelle Massey lives within a mile of where the train derailed, but she moved to the East Palestine High School on Sunday evening.
You never think something like this is going to happen to you, but it does. You never know what's going to happen.
Massey says she heard the loud boom when the train derailed Friday night and stared in awe as toxic chemicals were released from 5 train cars Monday afternoon. This after Norfolk Southern discovered at least one car was at risk of exploding and could launch deadly shrapnel into the air. Meanwhile, local and state leaders urged residents to evacuate if they lived nearby.
First night we were here, I think we had 47 to 51, somewhere in that range, and then the population dropped.
Red Cross volunteer Jeff Mann says as of Tuesday, there are about 20 residents staying inside the gym, receiving help from the nonprofit organization and beyond.
People have been so generous from the community restaurants, businesses like Giant Eagle, some other ones out there that have just stepped forward and helped out.
Considering why we're here and everything, it's been a great experience. I mean, everybody's been so accommodating and so sweet, and whatever you need, if they don't have it, they're going to try to get it for you.
Displaying the true definition of community, Massey says she can't thank everyone enough for their support.
5:38 is our time right now. Don't forget, of course, your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Celebrating work that goes unnoticed. Just ahead, Adam Arrow highlights a hometown hero being honored by the city of Fairborn.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at. This morning will likely be a cloudy start, but also a foggy start. And we have already seen some truly dense fog across the northern part of our area. But I do expect it to mix out rather soon. This is, we do see that sun poking through. Like yesterday, where we had that thin cloud deck that can get eroded rather quickly. I think that we will likely see the fog also erode rather quickly. As for tomorrow, the big storyline we're watching is the potential for some strong gusty winds. Tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. they will be possible. But if you want me to narrow that down to when do we expect the strongest of the strong, that from probably around 10, 11 in the morning up until 3 or 4. It's truly a midday event. And if you are traveling north or northwest towards Chicago, that is where we'll continue to see the best chance of those strong gusty winds.
Going above and beyond to make sure first responders get the information they need.
As Adam Merrill explains, it's why Fairborn dispatcher Heather Barlow is a hometown hero.
The city of Fairborn recently posted this to its Facebook page. The city congratulating Heather Barlow for being awarded the 2022 911 Dispatcher of the Year. Barlow was nominated for the award because of her dedication and dependability. Her colleagues say she goes above and beyond the call by collecting important information police and fire may need to properly and quickly handle an emergency call. The Fairborn Police Chief calls Barlow a dedicated professional who cares about the community and the public safety personnel she works with. Thank you, Dispatcher Barlow, for your continued dedication to your community and to first responders. You are, in my eyes, a hometown hero.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We just need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Your time right now, 5:44. A kid from Akron chasing history. Guess who it is? Just ahead, LeBron going for another record, and who was there to greet him at the top?
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
We're going to give you a live look at the Los Angeles Lakers Twitter page and LeBron James, where it reads, after 39 years, the NBA has a new scoring king. Salute King James. The Ohio native made history last night. Here's the play late in the third quarter of the Lakers taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. LeBron's fadeaway signature move. There you got it. He passed former Laker Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the NBA's all-time scorer, a record they thought would never be broken. 38,388 points. The game was stopped following the historic basket. The former Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's standout was greeted by Kareem and presented with the game ball. James finished with 38 points, and the Lakers lost to the Thunder 133-130.
And it was a good night for the Dayton Flyers on the hardwood as they got back in the win column with a 62-58 victory at VCU. UD erased an 11-point deficit to take down the top team in the conference. The Flyers will be back home on Friday when they take on St. Louis. And today is a busy day of basketball here in the Miami Valley. The Dayton women will be in action this morning at UD Arena when they take on St. Louis at 11 o'clock for school day. The Wright State men return home tonight at 7 when they take on IUPUI at the Nutter Center.
Good morning. We are expecting some strong gusty winds, and it could be strong enough that we're actually talking about the potential for damage and power outages. Now, anytime you do get winds 50 to 60 mile per hour, it is possible. Now, that being said, based on the fact that we're not going to see any type of 70 mile per hour winds or anything that nature, it certainly isn't likely for a ton of power outages. But again, it's certainly in the realm of possibilities that the trees get knocked down or perhaps maybe even power lines, especially if we start getting up around 60. And don't forget, it also is going to be a lot more dangerous to travel. In the meantime, today we're looking at 50 degrees, mostly cloudy. Could conceivably be a shower right about as we get to 6 or 7 p.m. But the bulk of the rain does arrive overnight, and it becomes breezy overnight. So the strongest winds are actually from about 7 a.m. through 7 p.m. tomorrow. Narrower focus around the middle of the day for those 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts. Beyond that, colder weather settles in for Friday. Saturday, we are getting down into the upper 30s. Beyond that, there is going to be some more wet weather, probably around midweek next week. I still think Friday night to Saturday we could see a couple of light showers in the area, but we are trending drier and drier with that passing system. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, we are tracking fog. I can see a little bit of fog here or there around Dayton. It's really the northern and more rural parts of our area that are seeing the heaviest fog. So if you are traveling, you may need to give yourself some extra time, especially if it's a longer distance to the north.
Our time right now is 5:49. Mom, look what I can do. Just ahead, a scary moment turns into a family laugh for a little girl playing in the kitchen.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new details on that scare in the air.
127 souls on board, copy.
The FAA investigating after a fire broke out on a Newark-bound United flight leaving San Diego.
All of a sudden, there was some smoke. The guy next to me, 2 seats over, started to scream, and then I saw a flash of fire.
United telling ABC News it was a battery brick that burst into flames. Crew members immediately putting it inside a thermal containment bag like this one, designed to contain a small battery fire and put it out.
The fire is out, and it's in the lab, and we just need to check on the thermal condition of the brake so we can maybe roll off and get over the gate.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on how the quick-thinking flight attendants saved lives. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection. It's one pill once a day that's effective without topical steroids. Many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin, while some saw up to 100% clear skin. Plus, they felt fast itch relief, some as early as 2 days. That's Rinvoq relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer. cancer. Death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning. This morning we're waking up to a couple of school delays and even a closing. That's due to some fog. Now, we did see this fog begin to thicken up earlier on this morning. In fact, it has rapidly started to become much thicker in around Dayton. At one time, we were talking about 4 or 5 miles of visibility. I wasn't super concerned at that point. But when you start talking about under a mile of visibility, that is where you start talking about issues with visibility and being able to see out in front of you. And especially when you start talking about more rural areas, more low-lying areas, that's where you can see that fog really thicken up. So if you are putting kids on the bus this morning and you are driving through the neighborhoods to get to the bus stop, be extra careful now through 9 a.m. Again, it's going to be cloudy to mostly cloudy, but the big storyline is going to be that fog. And again, we are tracking school delays this morning, so let's just make sure that we're keeping safe out there. As for the roads this morning, it's still pretty quiet on 75.
Right now, Honda recalling more than 114,000 vehicles because of the backup camera display. The issue actually involves 2018 to 2020 Fit hatchbacks and 2019 to 2022 HRV SUVs. The malfunction is the result of a faulty audio system circuit when the vehicle is in reverse. It only involves makes with the ignition key, not a push start button. Now, Honda says it is aware of just a little more than 200 warranty claims related to the issue. So far, no injuries. The automaker is asking owners of the affected vehicles to bring them to a dealership for a software update. Honda will contact owners by mail beginning mid-March.
A new report shows U.S. consumers might be getting more cautious about spending money. Numbers from the Federal Reserve show outstanding credit grew by about $11.5 billion in December. That's the lowest increase since January 2021 and well below expectations. An analyst with Bankrate says consumers are becoming reluctant to buy expensive physical goods. Spending on services like meals out and travel has been more robust.
And check it out, these photos from Pennsylvania. Firefighters freed a little girl who got herself into a jam. Oh no, a mother called 911 after her 2-year-old daughter got her head stuck in the angel food cake pan. Oh, the middle section was removed. Firefighters had to cut that pan into 2 places, allowing them to get the girl's head out. She is fine. Mom obviously thanking those firefighters for saving the day. I can totally see one of my kids doing something just like that.
Can you imagine every time from now until forever?
You will always be the angel cake pan head.
Yeah, well, anytime you eat angel food cake, you're
That's
going
what
to
you'll
remember this
think
moment.
about.
Yeah.
Like the mom has to hide it deep into the closet, like just in case.
Yeah.
Can I tell you one of the most embarrassing stories? I had a college ring, and I decided to put it on after like 8 months, and I found out it didn't fit, and I couldn't get it off. And I actually had to go to the ER to get it sawed off my finger. Yeah, there's nothing worse than looking at a doctor being like, is this bad? And he's like, yeah, we could take that off. And then sawing it and just looking, being like, he misses by like half an inch and I'm losing a finger.
He's like, have a few Keystone Lights, a few too many here because your finger's awfully swole.
Is that the freshman 15?
That was the grad school, like a lot. Like that's
I had like a
school.
freshman 40, so I don't even want to go there.
Yeah, that sounds
I
about
actually
right.
lost weight in college. Thank you very much.
We got a lot more coming up on ABC 22 in the morning at 6 a.m.
In just a few hours, we're going to be heading inside the Dayton Metro Library here in downtown Dayton. What you can expect from Mayor Mims' State of the City address coming up next.
And Erica Baker still missing after 24 years. At 6 o'clock, we hear from Erica's father and the new detective working the case.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social. The Daily Mail is reporting Harry and Meghan will have to be deposed as part of a lawsuit. Meghan's half-sister Samantha Markle is suing the couple. She claims they lied about her in an interview with Oprah. Juicy.
Risque. An 86-year-old Don Chrisman from Maine is getting ready to head to Arizona this weekend. He'll be attending his 57th straight Super Bowl. He's been to every single NFL championship game since 1967.
Be interesting to see how much ticket prices have changed over all those years.
I'm sure he could tell you.
Yeah. And how does he afford it now?
Deal. Can they give it to him for free?
He's grandfathered in.
Yeah.
And British scientists may have figured out the most stressful time of the day down to the minute. They conclude 7:23 in the morning is when adults are the most stressed.
I see mine is probably evenings.
Mine's probably at dinner time trying to get my children to eat.
Amen to that. I'll tell you that. All right, well, this morning we begin with a live look over the city of Troy, where right now fog making its way. Wow, you can really see it's changed in the past half hour or so here in the Miami Valley.
Yeah, we do have some school delays right now scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Let's check in now with meteorologist Nick Maruziak, who's tracking some wind that's going to cause some issues later today as well.
Yeah, we are looking at fog first, then strong gusty winds, and in the interim, actually looking at the potential for some rain. Now, here's how this shapes up. Right for now, we're looking at 0 miles of visibility in Richmond. That's a problem area. A third down in Middletown, 1 in Troy, 0.3 in Springfield. So there are some truly dense spots this morning. I don't think that this is necessarily going to be top and board all across the area, but what we are seeing is some spots really become dense, and that's why we're saying this morning you may want to give yourself some extra time. Again, patchy fog now through 9 a.m. By that time, we should have temperatures start to warm up and also that sun come out. Now, we talked about the potential for some strong gusty winds. Let me touch on that. Tomorrow, we are looking at 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. That leads to the potential for power outages as well as dangerous travel conditions. We'll talk about that potential for power outages and travel conditions later, and also talk about how strong the winds will get. All right, now as for this morning, we are still seeing right now visibility in around the Dayton area. What I would say is not awful, but there are some spots where it has become even denser. So again, if you are traveling this morning, whether it's in Dayton or a little bit further away, you need to give yourself a little bit of extra time due to the fog.
Because the soul of this nation is strong, because the backbone of this nation is strong, because the people of this nation are strong, the State of the Union is strong.
This morning, President Joe Biden addressing a joint session of Congress last night in his second State of the Union address. Now, the president saying the union, you heard him say it just a moment ago, is strong as he outlined his administration's achievements and plans for the year ahead. Now, that includes finding common ground in a divided Congress.
He boasted about his bipartisan infrastructure law and the projects underway across the country, like the Brent Spence Bridge in Cincinnati. The president says federal infrastructure projects will have to use materials made in America. President Biden also looking towards the future of the automotive industry, promising to install more than 500,000 electric charging stations across the country, even highlighting projects right here in Ohio.
Outside of Columbus, Ohio, Intel is building semiconductor factories on 1,000 acres, literally a field of dreams.
Now, President Biden says he is looking forward to working with Republicans. We spoke with Dr. Mark Clausen at Cedarville University. He says that could be easier said than done.
Then when he got into issues that were more sensitive to the Republicans, then at that point, of course, a few of the Republicans, at least, the more vocal ones, are not willing to just sit by and listen to that. They felt that they had to respond.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders slamming President Biden and Democrats in the official Republican response.
His administration has been completely hijacked by the radical left. The dividing line in America is no longer between right or left. The choice is between normal or crazy.
Now, Sanders says Biden has reversed all of former President Trump's accomplishments, adding America is in a left-wing culture war with big government colluding with big tech. Sanders also called Biden weak on border security in China. She says Republicans will hold Biden accountable. If you miss any of the president's State of the Union or Republican response, you can watch it on our website or app right now. And just scan the QR code on your screen. You can download it for free in your device's app store.
Well, this morning, in just a matter of hours, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims will deliver his State of the City address.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live at the Dayton Metro Library this morning. That's where the speech will be. And she spoke ahead of time with the mayor about his first year in office. Alex.
That's right, Nathan. Mayor Mims tells me the city is seeing progress, saying the median income in Dayton is up nearly $3,000. He says the city is moving in the right direction. The mayor says Dayton is seeing more jobs, more people moving into the city, and more investments downtown, pointing to the opening of the Dayton Arcade and the Levitt Center. A new hotel is going to be opening up in Dayton here pretty soon. 50% of the city's budget comes from downtown income tax, and 75% of the budget is spent on neighborhoods.
So what has happened in our neighborhoods is we find ourselves with the first new food court restaurant in West Dayton with the Social Tap on Williams and 3rd Street. We find a brand new barbershop, luxury barbershop right across the street from that just popped up here about 3 months ago. We have new economy linen spaces in West Dayton, right up in Germantown. We have a new grocery store that's going up down the street from that, right there again on Germantown Pike.
He says the growth will continue in 2023 between a new library in West Dayton and the work going on at the old Wright Brothers factory sites. The mayor also praising the Omega CDC. It's one of the 4 recipients of a U.S. Department of Education grant with $28 million providing opportunities for young kids. Now, we are going to be out here live all morning long with the latest on Mayor Mims' State of the City address. Again, that happens at 8:30. Stay with us because we're going to hear more from Mayor Mims and the exciting things happening here in Dayton. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Join us tomorrow, Thursday, February 9th, for the 3rd annual Epic Pet Give-a-thon. Dayton 24/7 Now, once again, teaming up with the Humane Society of Greater Dayton to raise some much-needed funds for animals and their care. The event runs all day Thursday right here on Dayton 24/7 Now, but you don't have to wait to give. You can donate right now by scanning that QR code on your screen or by texting EPIC23 to 76278. Again, EPIC23 to 76278.
Our time right now is 6:07. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Your weather, of course, on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Americans holding on to their money, what a new report says about consumers and why big purchases are being put on hold.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at. Temperatures are in the 20s. This morning, we're actually technically looking at the potential for freezing fog, not just regular fog, but actual freezing fog across the area Springfield right now down at 19 degrees. It's quite cool outside. We are looking at calm winds across the board. Xenia, no wind whatsoever. In fact, I mean, it's rare that you see this. That's one of the reasons why we are seeing that fog. Now, that being said, big storyline tomorrow is the fact that we are going to see some strong winds. So this morning, 0 wind. Tomorrow, we could see some gusts into the 50s right first thing in the morning around 9 a.m. Then as we get towards 11, this is about the time period where we'll likely see some of the stronger wind gusts possible, and that'll continue through the early afternoon. We could get a couple up around 60, and that's where we start talking about the potential for damage. Again, that's tomorrow. Today, well, it's all about the fog this morning. Of course, we're continuing to keep you updated on that across the roadways. Here's what it looks like, though, across the greater Dayton area. So no major issues, at least on the interstates yet. In fact, everything is green right now, so traffic moving smoothly. Just going to give yourself a little bit of extra time due to that fog.
Our time right now is 6:12. Today in Grant Me Hope, we introduce you to a 14-year-old who likes being active and loves spending time with family and friends. In minutes, what adoption means to him.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
At any given time, there's more than 600 kids in foster care in Montgomery County. Now, the goal, of course, is always to reunite them with their families, but some can never go back home, and now they're up for adoption.
Dayton 24/7 now is teamed up with Grant Me Hope to help, and this morning we want to introduce you to Chad, who's right now looking for a family.
Hi, I'm Chad. I'm 14 and I'm in 8th grade. I have lots of friends. My friends would describe me as very nice, kind, playful. I like soccer. I used to play that actually. I would be sometimes a goalie, sometimes defense, sometimes offense. I'm very good at basketball. I like soccer more. Basketball is cool too. Shoot from far away. I like to play video games. I like to listen to music. I like to play Roblox and Minecraft and Subway Surfers. Roblox, because there's like a million games in there you could play. Like Arsenal, Rainbow Friends. I play with my brother though. It's pretty fun because we get to talk in the game, and plus we get to build together. Me and my foster sister like to play outside, swing, play on our scooters, and play tag outside. I like hugs. I like kittens and baby dogs. I like to watch YouTube. Preston plays, he plays Minecraft. I watch Spy Ninjas because they like fight hackers. When I get older, I want to be a YouTuber. Talk about being a video gamer. Yeah, you gotta get a camera, you gotta get SD for it, and you have to set it up. Math's my favorite subject because you get to learn, like about times, subtraction, algebra. To this quarter in school, I had 4 A pluses and a B plus. My brother and I are close together. I like to have visits with my brother and grandma. I like being a big family. And I like to have siblings. If I didn't have a family, then I would have to live on the streets. Adoption means to me that I get to stay with a family forever.
You can find out more about other kids who are up for adoption, including Chad, right now at Dayton247now.com.
Every week, we're going to feature another child in our Dayton 24/7 Now Grant Me Hope profiles.
Here's what we're looking at. Cloudy skies for right now. I do think we will continue to see some fog in the area. The rain is still off to the south. That's going to arrive more towards overnight than during the daytime. Still, it is conceivable that we do pick up maybe a shower across the southern part of our area just before dark. We will continue to see periods of rain through the overnight. Now, starting about 6, 7 in the morning, the rain moves out, but this is about when we expect the strong gusty winds to start. And in particular, I am targeting around noontime as maybe I would say the center where we could see the strongest winds, anywhere between 10, 11 in the morning through about 2, 3 p.m. We'll continue to see temperatures in the 40s as we get into Thursday evening. That's when we do expect these winds to start to diminish. Probably not until Friday that we actually see it go from what I would say is windy to more, let's just say, a breeze in the air. But either way, it is going to be a very windy day. Windy enough that we have issued a code red because there's the potential for damaging wind gusts. Friday, temperatures will be in the mid to upper 40s. Upper 30s on Saturday. Friday night into Saturday, we could see a couple of wet snow showers in the area, but it is trending a lot drier. And then from there, we'll see temperatures warm up into next week. Meanwhile, on the roads, fog continues this morning. You can pick it up really, it's pretty dense, 70 and 75. Right now, 3rd Street doesn't look too bad. Despite the fog, things are moving good across our area. Let's go ahead and check in what's going on right now across the state.
Good morning. If you are commuting from Dayton down to the Cincinnati area, I do have some construction to let you know about. This is wrapped up now. They were working last night into this morning on 75 southbound, but they've cleared it. But tonight, if you travel 75 near 74, or you continue on 74 westbound, I have some single lane closures to let you know about between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. You'll see a single lane closure on 75 southbound between Mitchell and Hopple. Then on 74 westbound, a single lane closure right as you're passing Coleraine Beekman, and the ramp from 74 westbound to Coleraine Beekman will be closed 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. Again, that's going into tomorrow morning starting tonight. I'm Jen Dalton with Triple Team Traffic. Have a great day.
Good morning on this Wednesday, halfway through the work week. And if you are making your way in from Madison County towards Columbus this morning, those 70 eastbound lanes up to speed, dry and really clear this morning. As you are looking right here by 270, things continue and move nicely in towards downtown Columbus. Now, if you're popping on up to the north, maybe you're going to be heading up towards Dublin. Things are also moving nicely. We don't have one alert on our board this morning. Obviously, it's still a little bit early. We could have some activity shortly here in a little bit when we get more folks out. But right now, things moving nicely. And over here by by the airport. You're not going to have any problems zipping your way to that exit if you have to make your way out of town for whatever reason. So things are looking good in the metro area of Columbus. If you're heading our way, you're not going to have any problems. I'm Katie McHugh with your Triple Team Traffic.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, 2 Dayton brothers have started their own online golf business, and it's seen exponential growth. 1803 Golf, named after the year Ohio became a state, was brainstormed by Colin and Cody Hart. They opened their online store in August of 2022, featuring their signature Ohio-branded golf products, and have since added several big retailers to their site. Since opening, the company has seen a month-to-month growth of 120%. 1803 Gold is now a central location where golfers can find various products across multiple brands. To read more about the story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the News tab, and select Dayton Business Journal.
A new report shows U.S. consumers might be getting more cautious about spending money. Numbers from the Federal Reserve show outstanding credit grew by about $11.5 billion in December. That's now the lowest increase since January 2021 and well below expectations. An analyst with Bankrate says consumers are becoming reluctant to buy expensive physical goods. Spending on services like meals out and travel has been more robust.
Our time right now is 6:22. Digital producer Max trying to get you over the hump today. Your Facebook poll question coming up in just minutes.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
We are looking at a day where we're dealing with some fog early on, but if you're trying to walk the dog, I don't think it's a bad day by any stretch of the imagination. Boo here joining us. Boo, an older dog, I believe 17 years old, if I recall seeing it, over 100 in dog years. So congratulations to Boo on a very long life and hopefully a lot of treats or belly rubs. Not sure what Boo likes. Anyway, point of the matter is today we'll get up to around 50. Notice mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures will start out in the 30s. It's going to be chilly outside early on. And again, we are dealing with that fog. But by the time we get into the afternoon, it's going to be, in the grand scheme of things, pretty mild for us across the area. Tomorrow, we do expect some strong winds. It's probably going to be a day where those winds may keep us inside at times, especially during the middle of the day. And as we get into tonight, we could actually see a couple of rain and snow showers during the overnight period. All right, now, as for today, excuse me, rain showers only, not snow showers, sorry. My brain turned off there for a second. All right, we are looking at right now a little bit of fog here and there. Right now, the camera's not picking up too much fog across the area, so that's good news around Dayton, but further north, that's where we're really seeing that dense fog, and I have noticed that a lot more schools now going to delays, so good news to all those kids out there. A couple of extra hours of sleep. Some parents probably also happy they don't have to deal with screaming kids at, 7 o'clock in the morning?
They're screaming
just
no matter
screaming
what.
until 9 now.
Yeah.
All right,
You're
fair
good.
enough.
I'm just saying, you're the one without kids.
Look, I used to sleep in. I used to know, like, the second I heard 2-hour delay, I'm going to bed. Like,
I understand that, but that's not the case with littles.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're up at now.
Anyway, so let's move on to our digital Casanova. Max.
Look at you.
I like this.
Looking
that,
snazzy today.
And the heart behind you, it fits your belly.
Yeah, it's romance in the air. Almost. It's almost Valentine's Day. Where is the most romantic place in the Miami Valley?
Oh, this could be interesting.
Hold on a second. I love the first answer on there.
The outhouse?
No, these
dinner at church and chicken.
We've got a few real answers, and we've got a few joke answers.
Speedy pizza.
Waffle
I
House.
get the cherry freeze. You guys are lit today.
Yeah.
We will get. Let's go over the one, I think, sincere answer. A beautiful sunset dinner on Enid Beach.
Aw, Phil, look at you, the ever romantic.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I looked it up. It's not a beach. It's just a park. But
It's probably
it looks
beautiful.
nice.
Yeah, it probably looks beautiful.
It does look pretty nice. So now the other answers. Norman says Waffle House.
Okay.
Nothing says love like smothered and covered.
It's
Or
universal.
it could be heart-shaped pancakes.
That
or
would
waffles.
be really
Do
nice.
not hold on. Do not just roll over Nick's comment there.
No, but sometimes I have to.
Nothing like love, like smothered and covered. Jesus.
That's not cringy or creepy
That wasn't a double
whatsoever.
entendre,
Was
sir.
it though?
No,
Was
it
it
really wasn't.
just like Dolly Parton's biscuits and gravy?
Anyways, good Lord, Elise.
I'm
Why'd you
just
take us
saying.
back there? All
Y'all
right.
said it.
Anyways.
And I'm the one that has to deal with the cringe.
We're dealing with a lot of cringe this morning. Max, though,
you.
just wait a second.
We'll
Hold
be
on,
back.
hold on. We'll be back with Max here in the next hour. Get your answers up. Well, there's a lot going on this morning. Our time right now, 6:28, still to go.
Mayor Mims preparing to deliver his State of the City address this morning. What he's accomplished in his first year as mayor, coming up next.
The first year's Genevieve Gorder with America Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Naki.
Hey everyone, I've got a fantastic solution to an issue I know you can all relate to. I have a hands-free way to use your phone for whatever you want to do. We all know the sound of your phone crashing to the floor in the middle of a call, trying to prop it up on books and get that perfect shot, or you lean it against a glass to see the screen while you're cooking or working out or whatever. It's annoying because it never really works that great. Here's your solution. This is called Tentacle, and it's a super functional little gadget that I've been using a lot lately. It's a mount that can hang, wrap, stand, suction, rotate, and bend basically anywhere. And it can hold up to 42 pounds. I've used it in the car. You can put it on the bathroom mirror, hanging it off of a railing. It works. It's really flexible. I've also used it for shooting videos, and you can control it with this little Bluetooth remote, which is always handy. So Tentacle blew up on Shark Tank and hit record sales numbers, and it's easy to see why. People with hearing disabilities are even using it to keep their phone hands-free while they're signing. Now, there's universal threading that lets you mount speakers, lights, or microphones all on this tiny little base. Right now, we're offering an exclusive 33% off. You guys take advantage of this deal at asadeals.com.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Waking up to three quick stories on social. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is visiting the UK today. This is the first time he's visited the country since Russia invaded Ukraine.
We now know when the King and Queen consort will be crowned.
Yay.
May 6th at Westminster Abbey. We wait for a Queen consort, Camilla?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
And King Sausage Fingers.
Stop! And a man arrested for climbing. Oh my God, I just keep thinking about the scene from The Crown. From climbing the tallest building in downtown Phoenix, yep. And the SWAT team met him at the top. Yeah, after climbing 40 stories. I'd be so mad if I were him. I'd be like, I just climbed 40 stories. You're gonna arrest me now?
Yeah, duh. You should have known that going up, dude.
This is true.
Now today's top story, taking a live look over the Gem City this morning. We're seeing a lot of fog in some areas. In fact, several school delays are happening right now. They're scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
Now we could be moving on tonight to some rain, strong winds tomorrow. So lots of changes in our forecast. So let's send it right over to meteorologist Nick Maruziak, who's going to break down the timing of everything.
So first things first, you mentioned the fog. Let's talk about that because that's really pressing. 0.3 mile in Greenville, 3 in Wapakoneta, Troy, 0.8. Troy City Schools are on delay as well as Tip City Schools. So we are talking about the northern half of our area seeing some dense fog, and again, those corresponding school delays. And Richmond right now is at 0 miles of visibility. Now, let's talk about this morning because obviously we have that patchy fog. That should mix out by 9 p.m. By 11, will be generally cloudy. What will happen is that cloud deck will lift. We'll get some sun poking through, and temperatures will be around 40. Then for tomorrow, we are looking at the potential for 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. It could be enough wind gusts that we see some power outages due to downed trees and power lines themselves. But of course, we're also looking at dangerous travel conditions, especially for those higher profile vehicles. Speaking of travel conditions, here's what it looks like. Again, patchy, dense fog across the area. Not too bad right now in Dayton. 75 is flowing smooth at this hour.
In just a matter of hours, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims will deliver his State of the City address after his first year serving the community.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live in downtown Dayton with his plans for a second year. Alex.
Yeah, I spoke with Mayor Mims about what the city plans to do with the stimulus money it received. He tells me $22 million is going towards clearing down 1,100 vacant properties, and then $800,000 will help fix up 100 homes and target areas throughout the city. Now, $1.8 million is going to Habitat for Humanity, and this will go towards helping people learn how to do basic maintenance in the house, rehabbing their homes, dealing with electrical work and plumbing. The mayor tells me it's all about improving the quality of life for people living in Dayton.
One of the things I like to do is try to bring back some of the quality of life options that I had, that my kids had, and to treat every kid in this community as if they were mine, okay, and create those kind of opportunities for them. And if we have not gotten to your neighborhood, I'll just say this very clearly. Just hold on. We're on the way. We're on the way to try to make good things happen as far as the city of Dayton is concerned.
Mayor Mims says he's expecting the city to grow even more this year. He's also working with local schools to provide more programs that will help set kids up for success in the future. And that speech will kick off at 8:30 this morning. We will be live out here all morning long with the latest on Mayor Mims' State of the City address. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about what all he has accomplished within his first year serving as mayor. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Our time right now is 6:38. You can don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen. One of us is popping.
Popping.
Not me. If I shimmy and shake. Erica Baker this morning still missing after 24 years. Just ahead, we hear from Erica's father and the new detective working the case.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Spring hasn't yet sprung. Technically, it's roughly 6 weeks away. However, some trees along the coast of South Carolina are getting a jump start with their blooming flowers. And a look at this halo that caught the eye of meteorologist Brandon Stover. Halos form in the presence of thin cirrus clouds as light from the sun or moon refracts off ice crystals.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Those halos that you see, those are also known as sundogs, and they typically actually occur when it's really cold outside because, again, you need ice crystals. So a lot of times you see them with cirrus clouds in the summer, and they can occur, especially colder climates like Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota. Those type of environments are more conducive to those during, I would say, the spring, fall, summertime even. Meanwhile, for us, we are looking at the potential for some strong gusty winds for tomorrow. I do think we have the potential for damaging wind gusts, especially when you start talking about the 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Those are also going to lead to a little bit more dangerous travel. So if you are traveling tomorrow, you want to be a little bit more aware. Now, meanwhile, for today, a shower or two possible during the latter stages of daylight, but much more towards overnight. We'll be looking at rain. Again, the big storyline we're watching is for fog this morning, and we've seen that on our cams. We'll also continue to see the winds tomorrow. Could be quite gusty.
Well, this week marks 24 years since 9-year-old Erica Baker went missing. Her case gaining national attention through the Dayton 24/7 Now podcast called Missing Erica Baker.
On the anniversary, I was able to speak with a new detective keeping this case open and her dad, who's still fighting to find her.
So what does it mean to be out here at Erica's grave 24 years after her disappearance?
Well, it's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, we know that, this is a symbol for her and her final resting place if we could ever bring her home.
Erica Baker's grave is both haunting and sweet. The granite headstone is etched with butterflies.
So that was something that she loved. That's why we went with the butterfly theme.
But as her dad, Greg, points out, it also reads missing. On February 7th, 1999, Erica put on her raincoat, leashed up her dog, and started to walk through a Kettering park. The 9-year-old was never seen again.
We all kind of know what happened, but there's always that 1 percentile where we don't know what happened, and that's the struggle right there.
2 decades later, Dayton 24/7 Now re-examining the case through our podcast Missing Erica Baker. The 7-episode series revealing evidence that's never been publicly seen.
Right now we're in the impound lot with the van that detectives believe hit Erica Baker.
The van's driver, Christian Gabriel, is the prime suspect. He admitted to the crime, but never led investigators to her body. The podcast is gaining national attention, leading to new tips in the case and a new search location after our team discovered a clue hidden in Christian Gabriel's confession letter.
Every tip, every legitimate tip that hasn't been investigated will be investigated.
Kettering Detective Matt Wolf is the new man on Erica's case, taking over in January. He's only the 3rd lead detective to handle the investigation. His dad was the assistant chief of Kettering Police when Erica disappeared.
I mean, I've lived in this area my whole entire life. I don't remember another story like this.
Here in the evidence storage room, there are 3 full shelves of items related to the Erica Baker case. In fact, you can see right here 101 index cards detailing each item. Now, the detective on this case, Detective Wolf, wants to digitize all these items and the documents related to the case to preserve them for future generations.
I think it's going to be key to the case, because if you spend time doing things that have already been done, you're kind of wasting your time.
Detective Wolf is also keeping a close eye on the suspect, Christian Gabriel.
Got anything you want to say to us?
No. Making sure he does not forget about Erica.
It's either going to be he comes clean and tells us where the body is, or someone, I believe, just totally accidentally finds her.
They're not closing the case, which is a very good thing.
Hope is all Greg Baker has. He prays one day he can etch out missing and properly lay his daughter to rest.
After all these years, you kind of get numb.
It seems exhausting.
It is. It is.
At David's Cemetery in Kettering, Nathan Edwards, Dayton 24/7 Now.
And you can listen to our Missing Erica Baker podcast anywhere you listen to your podcasts. For all our coverage and exclusive web extras you'll only see on Dayton 24/7 Now, scan the QR code on your screen right now. It'll take you to our website where you'll find everything all in one place.
Our time right now, 6:46. A kid from Akron chasing history. Just ahead, LeBron going for another record, and who was there to greet him at the top?
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Here's what we're looking at for today. Temperatures 50 degrees. It'll be mostly cloudy, and there'll likely be a couple of showers somewhere right around the time of sunset. Now, the bulk of the rain is going to arrive between overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. Tonight, we're not going to fall, but notice the winds are going to pick up. Tomorrow, the strongest winds move in, and we do have a high wind watch. What does that mean? That means there's the potential for 58-mile-per-hour gusts or stronger. That's enough that if we were talking about in a thunderstorm, that would be a severe thunderstorm criteria. But instead, this is not going to be caused by storms. This is actually going to be caused by basically cold air coming down and hitting the surface and being rather strong. So let's show you these wind gusts. So here we are, 7 in the morning. This is about when rain will start to exit out of the area. The winds will shift around a little bit. From about 10 a.m. through 11, noon, 1, 2, 3, this is the time period we have the greatest concern about the top end gusts, meaning upper 50s, low 60s. Now, that's not to say that we aren't going to see some strong wind gusts later on in the day, but that's the time period where we have the greatest concern, and that's where we're more likely to see, again, those top end wind gusts. Even at 7 p.m., it's still going to be by and large windy. Those winds should diminish into the 20s, or the gusts at least, as we get into Friday. Friday, a cooler day. Saturday, the coldest day, with temperatures retreating all the way into the upper 30s. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, we're still tracking fog. And again, you see those school delays at the bottom of your screen. Does include Troy City Schools. So again, if you are one of those districts, well, you're dealing with some delays. Right now in Dayton, we haven't seen any issues on the interstates, but you may want to give yourself some extra time as you head out the door.
A live look at the Los Angeles Lakers Twitter page, and LeBron James, where it reads, after 39 years, the NBA has a new scoring king. Salute King James. The Ohio native made history last night. Here's the play late in the third quarter. The Lakers taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. LeBron's fadeaway, right there. Nothing but net. Moved him past Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as NBA's all-time scorer with 38,388 points. The game was stopped following the historic basket. The former Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's standout was greeted by Kareem and presented with a game ball. James finished with 38 points, and the Lakers lost to the Thunder 133-130.
Our time right now, 6:52. Celebrating work that goes unnoticed. At 7 o'clock on Fox 45, Adam Arrow is going to highlight a hometown hero being honored by the city of Fairborn.
Because the soul of this nation is strong, because the backbone of this nation is strong, because the people of this nation are strong, the State of the Union is strong.
This morning, President Joe Biden, you heard it here, addressing a joint session of Congress last night in his second State of the Union address. Now, the president saying the union is strong as he outlined his administration's achievements and plans for the year ahead. Now, that includes finding common ground in a divided Congress.
He boasted about the bipartisanship in infrastructure law, that the projects underway across the country, like the Brent Spence Bridge in Cincinnati. The president says federal infrastructure projects will have to use materials made in America. Now, President Biden also looking towards the future of the automotive industry, promising to install more than 500,000 electric charging stations across the country. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders slamming President Biden and Democrats in the official Republican response.
His administration has been completely hijacked by the radical left. The dividing line in America is no longer between right or left. The choice is between normal or crazy.
Sanders says Biden has reversed all of former President Trump's accomplishments, adding America is in a left-wing culture war with big government colluding with big tech. Sanders also called Biden weak on border security in China. She says Republicans will hold Biden accountable. If you miss any of the president's State of the Union or Republican response, you can watch it on our website or app right now. Just scan the QR code on your screen. You can also download it for free on your device's app store.
In just a matter of hours, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims will deliver his State of the City address.
And Dayton 24/7 Hours Alex King is live at the Dayton Metro Library this morning. She spoke with Mims about his first year as mayor. Alex.
Mayor Mims tells me the city is seeing progress, saying the median income in Dayton is up nearly $3,000. He says the city is moving in the right direction. The mayor says Dayton is seeing more jobs, more people moving to the city, and more investments downtown. Pointing to the opening of the Dayton Arcade and the Levitt Center. A new hotel is going to be opening up in Dayton soon as well. 50% of the city's budget comes from downtown income tax, and 75% of the budget is spent on neighborhoods.
So what has happened in our neighborhoods is we find ourselves with the first new food court restaurant in West Dayton with the social tap on Williams and 3rd Street. We find a brand new barbershop, luxury barbershop right across the street from that just popped up here about 3 months ago. We have new economy linen spaces in West Dayton, right up in Germantown. We have a new grocery store that's going up down the street from that, right there again on Germantown Pike.
He says the growth will continue in 2023 between a new library in West Dayton and the work going on at the old Wright Brothers factory sites. The mayor also praising the Omega CDC. It's one of the 4 recipients of a U.S. Department of Education grant with $28 million providing opportunities for young kids. Now, we are going to be out here all morning long, and we're going to actually be heading inside around 8 to give you the latest on Mayor Mims' State of the City address. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about what else you can expect coming up. Back to you guys.
We want to give you a live look this morning over the city of Dayton, where Dayton police are now rolling out a new feature they say will help fight crime. The department took to Twitter, which you see here behind me, to announce new automated license plate